What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you a Mark IV video. There's a couple things that I'm not crazy about with this car that kind of bother me a little bit. There's a lot of mixed matched colors and pieces and bits and things on this car that I'm really OCD. I like to have the same kind of color scheme going on and all of that. So I'll give you guys an example of what I'm referencing. So again, these are very minor things. The pod filter for the HKS intake is green, purple cam gears, purple timing belt, then you have the red valve cover, you have blue couplers, you have the green Tane suspension colors. There's a nice Gretty blow-off valve here, a weird blue color, and then it has these three different color vacuum lines that are blue. And then obviously you have gold brakes, you have these nice red Recaros, some red stitching on the steering wheel, a different color blue on the e-brake handle. You have the green Takata harnesses. As I mentioned, I'm just not crazy about all the different colors that are going on with the car, so that's one of the things that I want to change. While I was at work today, we actually had 2 packages deliver. I bought these and I forgot that I even bought them. So I already opened up the boxes because I was curious what was in them. Right away, as you can see, we have the HKS Supra SQV blow-off valve. Super sequential, it is the JZ80, which is the Mark IV 2JZ GTE. This is specific for this vehicle. I love the Gretty, and for all of the JDM nerds out there like myself that appreciate some nice vintage bits. Twin turbo, it's not big single like most people do on the Mark IV, and it's a brand new part. So, worst case scenario, if I don't like the sound of it, we can always switch back to the Gretty. Additionally, we have 2 new super filters for the HKS intake system. I went with red, kind of matches the color scheme a little better. This is also the Super Power Flow, which is really good too. So, and I bought an extra because HKS parts are always back ordered, specifically for older model vehicles such as the JZ. So it doesn't hurt to have an extra one on hand. You should be replacing these, every so often. I'm gonna try to do this one-handed, but then in this box, we have a nice bit from Cusco. Rear carbon fiber strut bar. I forgot that I had even ordered this. This is very, very lightweight. The finish on it, from what I can see through the packaging, is very nice. A lot of this piping and minuscule things like that, I do want to get refinished. So I have the matching front and rear for these strut bars. So what I'd like to do is get them refinished, maybe do the bases a different color that kind of matches the scheme a little bit better, and then maybe just repolish up the actual bar itself. And then, we can always swap the carbon one out for those and get those back on the car. Just a quick update. So I went ahead and took off the pod filter. There was no point in recording me just unscrewing some things. But just to give you guys kind of a reference to what we're looking at. So it has this center cap piece. It's just a little knob, basically. Screw this off, and then.
No and then.
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 And then.
Then you're really starting to piss me off, lady.
And then.
And then I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna put my foot in your ass if you say and then again.
And then. And that releases the filter itself. This is actually really clean. It looks like it was probably replaced not too long ago, but again, I'm not a fan of this green. We're gonna go ahead and swap this out for one of the red ones. So you can kind of see some of the dirt on this one. This is obviously a fresh one. This will compress the same way into like the filter screening. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take the base, go ahead and pop that on, just like that. All right, so we got it in there. It's nice and fitted, it'll adjust to it. It's really easy, just put the dowel back in. Make sure that the filter frame is recessed inside of this. We're gonna go ahead and put that back on. All right, so we got the filter swapped out. We got the red one on. The next thing that we're gonna tackle is gonna be the blow-off valve. We're gonna go ahead and get this uninstalled, swap out some of these vacuum lines for some black ones. I already have a bunch of just miscellaneous vacuum lines. I'm gonna go ahead and tackle getting that blow-off valve off, and then we'll go from there. Before taking the Gretty blow-off valve off, we're gonna go ahead and open up the HKS, just make sure that we have everything that we need before we start taking stuff apart. Instruction manual, and then this should be the blow-off valve. Now I have a blow-off valve on my Subaru. It's the SSQV. This thing looks beautiful. It has the red inside too, so that's kind of cool. Follows the theme here. A really nice part. I love HKS parts. They're always quality. So this guy will be replaced by this guy. So just a quick update because we're running into a little issue here. So the prior bracket that sat here mounting the Greddy blow-off valve essentially. It's already rooted. So the HKS blow-off valve, per the instructions, and from what I can gather online, essentially would sit right here. However, because the prior owner that had the Greddy set up, they ran this kind of braided line with like this kind of like false AN over top of a clamp thing, which actually works out because the fitting for this actually mates to where it needs to go on the HKS blow-off valve. The issue is the way that this new bracket sits, the HKS sits up a little bit higher and then it comes into contact with the cylinder here where it wouldn't be able to bolt and it wouldn't be able to mount correctly. The hood wouldn't be able to close and it's sitting up against things that it shouldn't sit up against. I'll check back in as soon as I get this figured out. Following up here, it is approximately 12:30 a.m. We were able to accomplish exactly what I wanted to accomplish. We swapped out, got the red filter on. We got the HKS installed. So what I ended up doing is utilizing the brake cylinder bracket here. This isn't for a bleeder. This actually just holds the bracket for the throttle cable. I just added a few bends to it essentially to get it to line up where I needed to with the pre-existing line that ran to the Greddy. The Greddy used to sit down here, but we have a new bracket that I was able to utilize. So I did swap out the blue lines, splits off right here. The only one I did not do was this one back here. I didn't think about getting a sound clip of the Greddy before we tore everything apart. So we were able to accomplish everything on the Mark IV that we wanted to. The little checklist is obviously the pod filter, the HKS blow-off valve, updating some of these boost lines, vacuum lines, the black, and getting rid of some of those different color ones. The one thing that we did not do yet was install our Cusco rear strut brace. I just don't feel like dealing with it right now. I'll probably do it tomorrow or in another video, but just keep in mind that obviously we have that to install. So we're gonna do a little late night test drive. I have my co-pilot here. Back to the destination, aka El Casa de la T-Dog.
Really?
And L-Dog.
Yeah, whatever.
El Casa de la T-Dog and L-Dog. El Casa de la T-Dog. El Casa de la T-Dog. She cooks. She cleans.
You better not say the next words I think are gonna come out of your mouth.
On that note, that's gonna wrap up the video. Thanks for watching. Drop a sub. That's gonna cut it for this video. If you guys did like this and enjoyed this content, be sure to drop a like and comment down below. Definitely hit the subscribe, hit the little bell, turn notifications on so that way you get notified every time that I upload. Today it's a Supra video, tomorrow could be a Subaru video, and who knows what lies in between. So that being said, I'm out.